at U.S. corporations receiving billions of dollars to do work that the Iraqis could and should have done themselves, and this created, many believe, some of the greatest hostility towards the continued occupation, particularly because the U.S. corporations were failing so miserably with water, electricity, and sewage, still 3 years later, not even up to pre-war levels, even after the billions of dollars that have been spent and have gone to U.S. corporations. Order number 39 also provides one of the most ludicrous provisions and exposes the real interest of the Bush administration, which is that it allows for 100% repatriation of profits. That means that not one penny of the $50 billion that U.S. corporations earn for their work in Iraq needs to stay in Iraq. None of it needs to go and help be reinvested into the Iraqi economy. Instead, every dollar can be sent back to the United States. Bremer Order number 40 implemented a new bank law for Iraq. It allowed for 100% foreign ownership of Iraqi banks. The very first bank into Iraq was JP Morgan Chase, which has since been indicted as a participant in the Enron scandal. Order number 62 allowed Bremer to determine which Iraqis could run for or hold public offices. This meant that Bremer and the Coalition Provisional Authority could oust anyone from public office who they did not approve of, or reject anyone from running for public office with whom they did not agree. Orders 57 and 77 placed American representatives within every single ministry with 5-year terms. Bremer appointed auditors and inspector generals to sit within every single ministry. 5 years is well beyond the term of the official occupation and well beyond when most of us thought the American military was going to be departing. On June 28, 2004, the very last day of the formal occupation, Paul Bremer signed Order number 100, which what most people thought it was going to do was cancel the Bremer Orders now that the Iraqis were now in charge of Iraq. Instead, it simply transferred authority for almost all of the orders to Ayad Allawi, the new interim prime minister of Iraq, who, among other things, was a former CIA operative and became the new Bush man on the ground implementing the Bush agenda in Iraq. The military invasion opened the door, the Bremer Orders provided the economic transformation, and now the military remains essentially to see those orders carried to their fruition with U.S. corporations on the ground getting Iraq's oil and getting it back to the United States. The rest of the book explains first why those policies are harmful as they have been implemented elsewhere in the world, what we can expect of those policies if they do remain in place in Iraq, the poverty that they are likely to generate, the continued opposition to the United States as a government that they are likely to generate, and how the Bush administration would like to move those very same policies on to the rest of the Middle East through the U.S. Middle East free trade area, which the administration is aggressively pursuing across the Middle East, and that these are the same policies the Bush administration has been implementing in the United States and would like to implement more aggressively in the United States as it solidifies its seat of power and tries to continue to expand its empire. A lot of what I highlight in the book is the corporations that are involved and their role. If their role can be exposed, if what I call the oil timeline for the war can be exposed, the more we can do to stop it. That's why I choose 4 companies in this book: Chevron, Bechtel, Lockheed Martin, and Halliburton as the focus of the book, to show how their executives both participated in the lead up to and profiting from in the continuation of the war. If the question is, Can we stop the Bush agenda? The answer is we already are. We are now in a United States in which only 37% of the people support the president and only 35% support the war. This did not happen randomly. This happened through tremendous activism, tremendous organizing, 15 million people marching in protest of the war, Iraqi war veterans coming back in opposition to the war, teaming up with an anti-war movement that embraced them, counter-recruitment efforts in local high schools, 15 people protesting every weekend on a street corner, holding up a sign, 5 people writing their member of Congress for the first time, demanding that they take a stand against the war. We are already winning. We will win. This agenda can be stopped.